we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking through this project. I want to kind of do that live with you. So if we come over here, I think the README is pretty, I'm guessing it's just saying switch between these two. Challenge to build it out, look as close as possible, use any tools, hover states. Okay, so we got to worry about that. Design stuff. Okay. I think it's basically just make it to where you can switch back and forth. So we've got this toggle. We'll probably make this like a checkbox, make it a custom thing. So I think what we'll do is spend a little bit of time setting up the project and then kind of jump in. So let me, let's just pull up a terminal here, local terminal, and let's use pm create Astro, and let's call it like dashboard project, something like that. And it'll walk us through the steps if I did all that right. Another stream, trying out Astro. Yeah, I've used Astro for probably, I don't know, probably 6 months now. I probably have 5 or 6 production sites on it. Mostly just hobby sites or stuff I've done for friends. And I've got a large project coming out at some point in the channel. It just takes a long time to get something that I think is worthwhile sharing. So the problem is trying to keep the scope down. So right now, yesterday I was working on like creating your own custom RSS feed with Astro and a bunch of stuff like that. So it's just like, how much exactly do I cover? Do I pull in like, yes, and let's use relax. That's fine. Like, do I pull in a bunch of, I don't know, like extra stuff, like pull in data from the outside and build the site with like Prisma, or like at some point I just need to focus on Astro. And also, like, do I build out all the CSS custom? Do I just paste that in? So let me know if you have any thoughts on that. But yeah. All right, so we're in that project. Let's do open props as well. Open props. It's like dot style. Yeah, there we go. Just because this will make it a little bit faster to build out. And if you don't know about open props, I've done a video on it in the past. Where's this thing at? Right here. Kind of explaining how to get started. So let's do pm let's do post CSS git props, and I think you also need just open props maybe. Might as well do auto prefixer while we're at it, and we'll get all those things installed and up and running. And then let's go ahead and grab, I guess let's grab this right here, and let's see inside here. Let me just add a file, post css.config.js, and paste that in and make sure it's in this project. Okay. I think we're all set to go. And I've got this autocomplete already set, so that should be working for us. So I think I can just get started. So let's go pm run dev, close the sidebar here, and let's get this terminal down. Well, I guess we're going to need, oh, something happened. Subpath, not defined in exports. Oh. Huh. Did I not let that thing install properly? I thought I installed it all. Post CSS config. All right, let's open this up. Maybe I could pull this down so I could actually see what I was doing. Sometimes it's hard because like when I code on video, like everything's blown up so much, I can't see anything I'm doing, so that's kind of frustrating, but usually I can plan around it. Let's see, I think everything should be ready. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the problem was. Haven't had a chance to try it out yet. Yeah, Astro's a lot of fun. I think you're probably wise to have waited. I started probably in definitely in the alpha phase, and then I think it was alpha. Maybe they released an early beta. Either way, like it was like super early. Like everything has changed as far as imports and all this kind of stuff. So I've had to do a lot of refactoring. I spent 3 hours yesterday or the day before refactoring a site that was just pre-launch, and it wasn't that much work, but there were a lot of content like markdown files where I was using components, which you can't do anymore unless you use a legacy flag. So you're supposed to use MDX now. So I had to transition all those over and then change all my imports, and it just took a while. So it's probably not a bad thing to have waited. All right, let me make sure I've got everything set. And I think we're good to go. Now what we can do is just kind of start to build out the content. And let's see, maybe the easiest thing is just to come over this way. So do we have like a data file? No. Okay. Well, let's open up this then and see what they give us. They just give us lots of random stuff. Let's add this to... I think I want to make this like a data file. I don't really want to do this all from scratch. I think I'd rather pull this in. So is this pull in... It's supposed to be all these combined. So we should be able to add those up. This is just today. What is this for? This is like per month. Let's zoom in. Today, we've gained this many followers. So, I'm not sure the difference of these things. Total subscribers, then, I guess. Okay, and then this is just followers from today. Okay. I think I get that. So let's go ahead and create a data file. And typically, I like to just have a data folder in here. In Astro, and then I can just pull from it. So let's just call this like, I don't know, social.js. How about that? And then let's come over here and I'm just going to copy all of this. I'll pull this in. And then if I can see what's going on here, let's close this down, paste all this in. Yes. It hates what's going on right now. That's all right. So I think what we'll do is let's just do an object here, and we'll just export this. And let's see what we're going to call this thing. So I guess we could have the top section be like, just like overview or something like that. I don't know what to call this. I guess we could just do subscribers. It's subscribers or followers for that section. So let's do this. So this will help us eventually in the long run, but for now it's just, a lot of this too is just enjoying ourselves. So, see, why does it hate this already? I haven't even done anything yet. So let's call this like platform, and we'll say Facebook, and then I guess we'll say like subs. Even though some of these are followers. 1987. Let's see. Is this how I want to do this? I don't know if this is how I want to do this. I don't want to waste a ton of time. We could also pass it in. Let's try it. Hey, welcome. Learning curve for Astro. I mean, kind of. It depends on what you're used to doing when it comes to like working with frameworks. So, if you've done a lot of stuff with React and stuff like that, or Vue, or, like there's a lot of similar thinking. The nice thing is that it's more standard. They try to use a lot more like standard web things, and then a lot of the, I don't know, a lot of the syntax and stuff is kind of just JavaScript. So rather than having to learn something special, you're just creating maps and loops and like that kind of stuff. So a lot of that's a lot easier. Hey Darius, thank you. Thanks for saying something. I'm glad it's been a help. Yeah, I basically started this channel to learn. And so let's see, what am I doing wrong here? Why is this yelling at me? Have I forgotten how to do basic JavaScript files? Let's see, this needs to be let's see, we're already wasting too much time. I don't know, maybe we should just stick with it. Okay, this is an object number 1, so that should be like that. This should be like this. Why does this thing hate me no matter what I do? Well, we'll call this like data. Subscribers, that should work. And these should be commas. Yeah, get off my back. Export default data. Okay. We're all calmed down now. It's working. Today followers. Do I get this down from below? No. Okay. So we just call like today or something like that. We'll call 12. All right. So this actually needs to be... Okay, I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to make another object here. We'll just call this Facebook. And then we'll move this stuff in here. All right, now we're cooking. Facebook, let's copy this down 1, 2, 3 times. Here, here, and here. Add some commas in. Let's see. Oh, we have a handle too. How somehow I missed that. All right, so we'll call this handle. String. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe let's also then recopy down 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and get rid of this last one. All right. I'm going to open this pasteboard. That should help me out here and allow us to go a little bit quicker. Okay, 11K. I might want to style that a little differently. Did I miss that Nathan F? I did. Okay, that's all right. So I don't remember what the other platforms are here, but we'll check those out. Oh man, I already messed this up. So that was 10 something. Let's just check it. 1044. Okay. And then this should be 99. Whatever this is, whatever that is, whatever that is. So here's where I think, because I want this to be a string, I'm just going to add it in like that, and then we'll style that with JavaScript. Let's see. I copied that out of order, so I think that's good. All right, let's see what these things were. So it looks like that's Twitter. I'll also probably want an icon in here, so I could pull that in too. Which makes me think, let's also npm I Astro icon, which is a really cool little package. I did a video on it a while back, if you're interested in that. I'd also love to know what projects you're working on these days, and whether or not you're a professional developer or you just do it for kicks, or as a hobby. Okay, so this is what's Instagram, and this is, what is this supposed to be? Is that YouTube? Maybe. I think that's what it's supposed to be. So we'll say YouTube. And then we should have icons for those, I would think, right? Images. Hey, it was YouTube too. How about that? Let's drag these images into here. And let's see. I guess because they're all... Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I think Astro icon looks for them in an icons folder, maybe. I don't recall off the top of my head. So since these are all SVGs, I think. Icon, local icons, yeah. So it looks for them in an icons folder. So we should be able to pull all those in. I'm just going to kill this favicon. And then we'll pull all those in. Which means what we can do is come into here. For all of these, we can say like icon or something like that. And then we can point to a string, because this is what you're going to pass Astro icon. So basically it's going to load your SVG, compress it using SVGO, which is, it's just really cool how it does it, and then it injects it into the DOM. And this is built by one of Astro's creators, and it's just like one of those little tiny things that you're like, okay, this shows me that they pay super close attention to how this stuff works. All right, so we're going to call this icon, and then whatever the name of it is. So let's just do like Facebook, and then we'll change all these out one after the other. Twitter, Instagram, looks like, and YouTube. All right, so that data's set at least. Let's come down. So we got subscribers. Yeah. And next we're going to call this, what was this thing? Just like overview, or today maybe? How about today? Okay, and we've got the same basic thing. Looks like we've got page views. So we've got like a title, and what is this? Like just the unit or number, percentage, and then an icon. Sure. So for these, let's see. Let's just make this. Let's just make this an array of objects. How about that? And again, I don't know that it will get this all done today. We'll probably have to finish it up tomorrow or maybe next week. I just hate leaving these things too long too, because then people come to the second one don't often enjoy it as much. So let's call this, like, what did I say, title. And this will be, for now, we'll just do page views. I'll type these in just so I got some template to work off of. We'll do icon. This is icon Facebook. We will do, what do we decide on that? Just like number. We'll call that 87. And then we'll have percentage. And here's where, should I just have this? Let's have this as a number 2. So we'll do that and we'll say 3. Okay, so that one should be good. Let's just get all these things in this clipboard miniature so I can kind of paste them one after the other. I guess, yeah, let's just do that. I think that'll be the fastest. I just need to remember I just missed that K. So let's just copy it all and then I can change it when I get up there. So, because I'm not going to remember all the little things. Likes. Total views. Okay. Hopefully this prep will make things faster as we get going. I don't know how many we have, but let's start with that. Where are we at here? Page views. Did I already miscopy something? What was that supposed to be? Oh, that was from before. Yeah, there we go. So this will also be, let's see, what do I got? 52. So also Facebook. So we'll paste that in. That will just be a number. Page views, and this was the 52. Yeah. Okay. Now we're on likes, which is Instagram, I think. Let's see. 4,000. Yeah. So this is Instagram. Number is that. Percentage is really huge. All right. That didn't seem right, but I guess it is. Profile views. Looks like this is also Instagram. What is this magic? Oh, this paste. This is called Pastebot. Assuming that's what you're talking about. But you can copy stuff and then paste it back in sequential order. And for me, it's super helpful when building out stuff, especially if I'm taking a design and copying it over, because I can just very quickly port it over. Let's see, 52. This is the one that was 52,000. Also Instagram, though. We are up that much percentage. Page views, retweets. Looks like this is Twitter. My number here. Percentage here. Is that right? Where's this 303 coming from? Did they give me the wrong number? I think so. Because they're retweets. Oh, that's my percentage. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're getting close to doing something here. Likes. This is also Twitter. 505, 507, and whatever percentage that is. Let's see, and I need 2 more cards. So likes, again, this was YouTube. 107, whatever that is. 19. Yep, yeah, I really like Pastebot. I've used it for several years. I have tons of like small little hacks or tools I use and stuff that I don't even know like how I would run my machine without them. I've thought about doing videos like that, but they're kind of out of the scope of what I normally cover, so I don't want to frustrate normal users, but at some point I want to show off some of those small tools, and I've done some of that stuff before. But okay, so I think we've got all that set. We've yet to do anything as far as styling, obviously, or getting anything in the DOM, but now hopefully once we build out these cards, that should go a little bit faster for us. Okay, the next thing let's do is, I guess let's go into our index.astro page. And basically you can pull in these layouts. So assuming that you want like different layouts for different pages, you can have a layouts folder. The only thing required is the pages folder. And I think that's pretty much it. And you need to index.astro in that pages folder, but you can use a bunch of other folders. Obviously you've got components. I won't talk through everything with Astro just because this isn't really an Astro tutorial. But what we'll do is say social media dashboard. And you'll notice that I've imported this layout from layout.astro. And you can actually use JSX or anything you want. You can use like React in Astro. You have to install a package for it, but it's already built out. Shorts content. Yeah, I've tried to keep shorts to things that I only explain elsewhere, just so that, because not everyone likes shorts. So if you, yeah, but that's not a bad idea. But you can see here, this layouts right here. If I open this up, you can see here it pulls in a prop and it's destructured this prop title. You can also just do from Astro and then pull in props.title if you want to as well, but this is kind of the standard way. And here they're using TypeScript as well, so you can, you know, give it types, and then you basically just dump it in here with curly braces. So other than that though, this is standard HTML. So you can see here you've got just normal HTML attributes. You can include style, and this is scoped by default to the component, whatever it happens to be. Now this layout is kind of a special kind of component, but not, it's just a component. It just happens to live in a layouts folder to keep it more organized. We can see here you can have style. You can also include a script tag. That'll also be scoped by default. So there's a lot of cool things you can do. And then if you want it to be global, like here you can see it says style is global. And then that style basically will now apply to everything on the site, even though it's in this component. You can do this individually for items too, just by doing global, I think, like that. I'd have to check that out. I forget. So anyhow, but you're just passing this title, and now it should dump this in here. And let's see. Yeah, here you can see that title's coming in, social media dashboard, and that's because I passed it in right here. And because it's required in TypeScript the way we did it, if I don't do it, you see I'm going to get this yelling at me saying, hey, you need a title. So there's some cool TypeScript stuff by default, and you can have it more strict. We just set it up to not be that strict. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Get out of here. Oops, I deleted the the base. Yeah, the closing main and layout tags. So we'll get rid of all this stuff right here. And I guess we do need a main tag, so let's keep that. And then the way the layout works is it's also got a slot component right here, and this will basically dump its children in here. Now you can actually name these, so I think you just give it a name. You could say like content or something like that. And then what you could do is come over here and you can actually name this. I think it's like slot equals content, maybe. If I say hi 1, there we go. Yeah, so it slots it in there. So you can actually have multiple slots. So if I had another one in here that said like footer or something like that. Now, at some point you should just write a footer component, but I could come in here and have a footer and say footer, and this would be slot footer, and it should slot it in there. So you can actually name them if you want as well, but anyhow, now I'm explaining Astro when I said I wasn't going to. I do have a tutorial coming out in Astro, like I said. It's probably taken me a month so far just to get the design where I like it and planned out the thing. It'll probably take me several weeks to shoot it and edit it, because I just do this in the mornings and in the evenings. So, and I've got 3 kids, so it's, I don't, you know, my time isn't all my own. All right, so back over here inside this main tag, let's go ahead and get some basic stuff up. So let's just get some content in here first. We can have, maybe just for example's sake, let's create a component called header. And this should scream because I don't have one yet. So if I come in here, let's create a new file in here called header.astro. And again, you can use like JSX components or Vue components or Svelte or lots of other things. You just have to add their little package on the end. All right, so in here you can have front matter, and this is where you can write JavaScript. Anything basically during build, this will only be viewed during build, and then everything below is what's going to be returned essentially from the component. So for instance, like if I had a header tag right here, And in here we had, let's see, we've got a couple things. I guess that would be our H1. We'll just call it social media dashboard. And then total followers. And here we'll actually need to write some JavaScript to pull in all that data. So this might be a good excuse to use that data we just spent all that time on. I guess let's just do a paragraph here and say total followers. And then we'll input it right here. How about that? Eventually. So I'll leave that as kind of a temporary thing. Let's just call this like header wrapper and then drop it in there. If I save it, there's an Astro extension too. Let's see, where are my extensions? Right here. That is awesome. It does a lot of cool stuff that I'll show you here as we get going. So that's another thing to note. Over here for this dark mode, I think what I want is just an input. Let's see. Let's have another div. Yeah, let's just call this like switch wrapper. And again, because these are all scoped to this component, when I start styling them here, that'll be kind of nice to be able to do that. So we can just keep everything local, so I don't have to name these like amazing things as long as I can see what they are here. You can break out these things into different files, and I'll show you how to do that in a second here too. I got to stop doing a tutorial on Astro. All right, check box, I think is what we'll do. And we'll do a roll of switch, just so it's clear what this does. Switch. And then we'll do aria label. Actually, we'll attach a label to it. So let's call this something like mode or theme. How about that? And then I'll do a label, and we'll pass this for theme. And again, if you're used to JSX, you're not doing HTML4, all this kind of stuff. You're just using standard HTML. Standard HTML is Astro. So I think it's a pretty easy framework to pick up overall for that reason, especially if you're not used to templating languages. It's not too difficult, and it actually is a nice gateway drug into some of the other ones. So anyhow, this we'll just call dark mode, and maybe let's move this first. All right, so as a very basic thing, let's get rid of this for now. If I come over here, refresh, see components. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Then what I can do is come in here and I can just add it in as if it were like an HTML self-closing tag. Now I can also do it like this if I want to, but I'm not going to. So because I don't have anything in between. But if I had a slot component, just like with that layout, you can have slot components for individual things as well. And if you have questions as I get going, feel free to reach out to me. Looks like my live video feed has stopped for me, so hopefully you're still seeing me. All right, that should be working. Okay, cool. So why don't we, first of all, get some data in here. So what I need, if I open up my data, let's see, social right here. I need the combination of all these subs. So what I can do is pull in this data, and I can drop it directly in here. Extension. How are you getting inline errors? Oh yeah, it's an extension called Error Lens. I don't usually have it on in my videos because it's kind of annoying, but I usually keep it on when I'm just developing myself. So what we'll do is we'll import data from, actually, was this a named export? No, it wasn't. So yeah, I think it was just a default export from, let's see, let's go up a level to data and then to social. All right, so what we can do is if I console log this, for instance, I should be able to pull up this right here, and you can see we're getting in all this data right here. So what I want is, come on, where are we at? Okay, so what I want is I should just come back to the data file at this point. So I want my data.subscribers, right? And that gives me all those. And then I want to loop through all those. So these, where's my data file? So these subscribers are all objects. And so let's just get all the content from that. So we'll come over here, and what I want is, let's just do like total followers equals, we'll do object dot, I guess we need entries of our data. And for now, let's just drop this directly in here, just so you can see how this works. if I do that, save all this, it should, oh, it's going to give me all those objects first. So then what I need to do is loop through all these. Let me just make sure I'm getting what I think I'm getting here. Again, it'd be really nice if I wasn't so zoomed in. Okay, so today subscribers, okay. Data dot subscribers. Yeah, okay. Then what I want, that should give me an array. Okay, so it gives me an array with each of those items. And I guess really all I need is the values. All right, so there we go. So now I should just have objects. There we go. And then what I want is let's see, dot map over each of those, and I just want to pull in. Actually, what I should do is use a reducer. I always struggle doing these reducers on the fly. I always have to look them up just because I don't use them enough. But maybe if I used them more, I wouldn't have to look them up. Am I right? So it takes a callback. Let's see. Let's just look it up real fast. Reducer, JavaScript. Name of your theme in VS Code. I think, well, I use Astro just because we've got all these cards and it's nice to use some kind of templating language. So I'm not just typing that out. Plus it gives me a chance to use it. I mean, and I probably use Astro on 70 to 80% of the sites I do personally. So I just happen to like it, and I've used it for, I don't know, 6 months like that. So, yeah, and these things are more about just enjoying myself. So, yeah. There we go. Previous, yeah, plus current function. There we go. Thank you. Too late. I'm already on the docs. But thanks. So what I'm wanting is the... I got to remember what I had. Let me pull this back up. So what I'm wanting is the... I need the sub. Right? And then... Oh man, I'm losing it already. Dot length. I'm not sure I understand you there. Let me just map over this and make sure I'm actually getting what I want. I think especially with my console being so large, I can't see anything that's coming in. So let's just map over our subs. Oops. Okay, so those are all of our subs just mapped over, right? Okay, so I am actually getting what I need. Let me come in here and just look at an example real fast. Okay, so reduce get max. Why is it pointing this? Okay, so here's an array. So I already have an array dot subs over each of those, and so this map should return an array just like this right here. Then I can tack on the end of this dot reduce. I think that's working. And then all I want is a, let's see, and B, right? Essentially, that's what I'm passing in here. Number of subscribers. Still not sure I'm following you, Imad. Well, you know, the nice thing about doing live codes is it like kind of exposes the things that I don't know as well, just because I don't use them or whatever. So previous value, current value. Okay, yeah. So we'll do let's do prev. Oh, come on. All right, this needs to be callback function, right? Prev. And here I take in the prev and the current. Okay, I think that's how it works. Prev, current, and all I want is prev plus current. And then I just return that. Let's see what happened. Is that what I want? That could be what I want. Okay. I think we did something. Let me just double check. 23,000 is what I'm supposed to be getting. I mean, kind of. That's close enough for me. All right, let's lay out. Where's my... I can't see anything here. Social, here we go. Let me just take all these and like 1987 plus 1044 plus 11000 plus 8239. Yeah, so I don't know what number they're getting because that should be correct. All right, well, that took a while to remember how to use reduce, but now we've got that. And you can see how you're writing all this. And the way Astro works is you write all this in the front matter, and it just runs this JavaScript. And this will run during build time. And obviously in development, it's just dumping it in right here. What I probably do want to do, though, is to have some kind of formatting options. So let's actually create another folder here. And let's see, inside here, yeah. Let's just call this like JS, something like that. I guess I could use TypeScript here. Maybe we should. I'm not like super into TypeScript yet. I've just started kind of learning it, so another dangerous thing to attempt here on a live, but let's try it. Oh yeah, you're right. I do need to add 0. Thank you. Which is the initial value. Let's just call this utils .ts. And then what I want is the INTL format number. Basically what I'm going to do is rather than format this manually and turn it into like a string or something, we're just going to, where's my example down here? There we go. So this is all I want right here. So let's just do const format. Yeah. With commas. How about that? Let's close that down. And what I'll do is take in a num, which needs to be a number. And then I'll return this. And this will be my num. Why is this yelling at me? Oh yeah, I know. I'm going to do that. Calm down. Export. Okay. So then what we'll do is pull this in up here as well. So let's keep these. We'll do like data imports. And then this will be like helper functions. And then we'll do import that from TS and utils. And then what I can do is take this and wrap this right here. All right, and if we did all that correctly, there we go. So now it's formatted correctly for us. Oh yeah. Yep, I need to do the export. That's what I think I did that. Yeah, there we go. And you could also do it up here, but I'll just keep all my exports down below in case sometimes I'll reference other things. The nice thing about using Astro like this, though, is now I can just format all this stuff. And it's a number, but now it gets dumped in as a string that's properly formatted. And if for whatever reason I change stuff around, it wouldn't be too hard to mix it up. All right, now I'm getting some kind of default styling, so I guess maybe let's go ahead and build out the cards as they should be, and then we'll do kind of the theming last, because I get stuck on the theming because I really like CSS. So that way you can we'll break the video in half that way, although we're already quite a bit into this and we haven't done that much yet. But I think because we spent time on that data, even though it took a little bit of time, that should help. So I basically am going to have two different kinds of cards over here. So we'll call these like card large and card small. Now we can make these separate components. We can make them the same component and just decide which one we want to export. I think probably the thing that makes the most sense is to make them separate components. So we'll call this like card large. How about that? And if we come over here, let's see. I know I'm going to need a few things. Let's see, where's my data? Social. Can we split this and actually see anything? I'm going to have to zoom out some. Sorry if it's hard to see. Close that down. Let's close that down. Let's close that down. Let's close the utils down. All right, inside here. So let's get rid of all this. And I know I'm going to want whatever these things are. So I've got a handle, I've got subs, I've got today, and I've got icon. And let's see, I guess let's just keep this up here. So we'll say handle is a string, that's fine. Subs is a number. Let's see, today is a number as well. Let's see, something is going on in the chat. I'll look in a second. String over here. That should pull those in. Folder, total followers, and other function, helper function. Yeah, you're right, I can as well. That's a good call. I think since it's just going to be used in that one component, to me, like, I want to only use helper functions for things that I would use in multiple files. And if I'm going to use it in just one component, my default is just to put it in that component. But yeah, you're right, it can. Beginner coding, wonder how long it take me to get the necessary knowledge to start working. I mean, it depends on you, depends on the job you're trying to get. I think the biggest thing is just build real projects yourself a lot. The more you do that, the more exposes what you do and don't know. Data in the CSV, JS file. Yeah, I know, right? That took half our video so far. So that's what I would recommend. Georgie, sorry if I totally butchered your name, is just build stuff out. Like, especially when I was first learning CSS, I would just go to websites, download all the assets I could, and try to recreate the site myself. And it might take me, like, sometimes it would take me 3 weeks. But that was way better to me than just doing tutorials. And the better thing is, then when you watch a tutorial, you're actually watching for things that you know you need. You're like, oh, that's how I should have done that on my site. So it actually improves tutorials when you do that yourself. So you get more benefit out of the tutorials. You feel like a loser, though, because you realize what you don't know. But that's how you get better. So, all right, back over to what we were doing here. So what we're going to do is, I guess let's make these, I mean, they are kind of grouped. So we could either do these as LIs, or I think my default would make these like articles. Article. There we go. And let's see. I guess because we can scope these, we don't even really need to give this any kind of class, because we'll just scope it down below, because I'm going to keep the CSS file for each of these components in their own files here. So up top here, we've got a couple things. We're going to need to import Astro icon. So if I come up here, I'm going to say library imports. And here we'll say import, what am I doing? Icon, I think, right? I think that's how you do this, from Astro icon. And here's the magic of Astro icon. I'll show you in a second. But up top, we're going to want those two things in a div. Actually, maybe we'd have them in a button if they're going to link to somewhere. Let's do a button. All right, like that. And then we'll have two things in here. We'll have the icon, and we'll give it the name. And in this case, it'll be the icon that we've passed in. And I'll explain that in a second if that doesn't make sense. And you can pass it other things like width or any kind of attributes in here you can pass. So we'll probably want to do that. I guess maybe let's do something like width 24, and we can always change that up if we need to. And then the other thing I've got in here is the handle. So I think I can just drop that in like this. Maybe I'll throw in a span tag. All right, next we've got our number, and let's see. I do need it to also be limited to a certain amount. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Let's open up my utils. Hey, you're welcome. Let's come back over here. I want to like format it to like, are there examples so I don't have to read this? Yeah, I want something like this. Gonna have to actually read stuff. Here, format. I think this is what I'm wanting. I can't read anything over here because it's too small. and there's a format style you can give it that will give it like that 11K. It'll cap it. I just don't remember exactly what the syntax is. Oh, come on. Well, let me let you try to figure that out, and we'll come back to that. So if you want to figure that out for me, that'll speed us up a little bit. Otherwise, we'll just dump it in here for now, and we'll figure it out later. So let's make this the H2. Yeah, I think I like that. And we'll do span. We'll give this, let's see. Yeah, let's do span and give this the class of num, and we'll dump in our subs here. And then next to this, or down below this, oh, you know what? We've got followers, 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 and subscribers. So I think we need to add one more thing to our social. So let's come in here for all of these, and we'll go social. What am I calling this? I guess like subtitle. I mean, it's for the subs, and it's a subtitle. So makes sense to me. We'll do followers, and then let's see, just this last one is where we have subscribers. Okay, so we can pull in the subtitle as well. So subtitle, and subtitle, and we'll do subtitle. And here we'll do a span with the class of sub, and then subtitle. So you can see what I'm doing is just templating this out, and any templating goes inside these curly brackets. So that's how Astro works. All right, I think that's everything I've got down here below now. One more thing, and that is our, let's see, this should probably be, I think paragraph's fine. Maybe we'll add, I've got a little arrow icon. Do I have an icon? Arrow down and arrow up. Okay, so I also need to decide whether it's positive or negative, unless that's in here. No, it's not. Okay. So we got to add another thing. Maybe what we should do, well, we already have some data imports. I don't want to spend forever refactoring all that stuff. So let's just come in here and we'll say like positive, true for all those. And then this one will be negative. And we can run a little ternary off that. So we'll do positive, and in this case, positive is a Boolean. All right, so what we'll do is come in here and we'll say positive. Then I want icon. Oh, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's pull in the icon first. So we'll say icon name, and here is where we'll do the templating. And we'll do like a width of 24. And what we'll do is pull in positive. Oh, positive. If that's true, then we'll pull in arrow down, arrow up. What was that thing called? Icons. Arrow down, icon up, icon down. Okay. Icon up. Otherwise, we'll do icon down. Or I guess we could just switch out this, but it's fine. Okay, so that's good. And then we'll also always have today. So I guess let's just throw that in span tag today like that. And then we'll have our number. Sorry, I keep hitting this thing. I can't see the text is so small. And here, let's also throw this in a span, I guess. And we'll call this today. I think that's what we called it. Yeah, up there. Okay, so now at least that card is kind of ready and set to go. We can kind of use some of the same stuff later, but hopefully that helps kind of talking through how the templating works in Astro. Negative is not defined. I don't even know what's going on right now. Social. Negative. Oh, this should be false. Maybe somebody said that. Notation compact. Thank you. All right, so we'll do the same thing. And in this case, so this is one of the reasons I wanted to, I think this is an option. So Maybe let's just keep this separate, so that way we can name it more precisely. So we'll say format number with thousands. How about that? And then what we'll do is come in here and say, how does this? It's like, isn't it like an object or something you pass in? International options. Where's the options it's passing? Oh, yeah. Was that after the format? Nope. Okay, so I think what I need to do, number format, here is where I'm going to pass in EN US, and then I'll pass in notation compact. Well, spell things, first of all. This needs to be in an object anyhow. Notation compact. Notation compact. Is that right? Okay, let me just copy what you have. Wait, maybe that's what I just did. I think I did, but just in case. Thanks, David. Oh yeah, and this needs to be new here too, I think. Although it was working, so we'll do num here. All right, and now let's just export this as well. Down here, number format with thousands. So let's import that. So we'll do like helpers, import this stuff from, come on, TS utils. Compact quotations. That was why I had problems before. Okay, cool. All right, format number with thousands, and we can put that around the subs, I think. Okay, so that should cap it at like the 11,000. I like how we can't see anything yet because I'm literally just writing this in the abstract right now, but we'll pull this in a second. In fact, maybe let's make that second right now. So we've got our indexed Astro page here. So our header, obviously, we're not pulling in any data there. We're just dropping it in. And this one, what we're going to do is have this section. So maybe let's also do a section component while we're taking our time. This is how I probably normally do it. So let's just do that. So this section here, I'd have a section. And then in here, I'd have aria labeled by, I think. And then here I would pass this, you know what, we need another slugify function. I just need to, okay, I'm not using vars. 2013, string to slug. Like normally you should, there's other things I would normally pass in there. That'll work though. Let's come back to our utils. And we'll make another one here. So that'll work. This is a string. Just, right? Like that? Okay. Slugify. Okay, so that should return all that. I think that's right. So we'll pull this in as well. So let's come over here and we'll say helpers. And again, we'll say import slugify from JS, TS, utils. And we'll wrap slugify around a title we're going to get. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull in a title. And right now we don't have it, so import or const, we'll destructure title here from Astro props, which is how you get props into a component. There we go. Okay. And then we'll have an interface. Let's see. Let's close down some more of this stuff. Let's just copy this over. Okay, and then we'll have title will be string. And then we'll slugify inside that. And then, let's see. For all of these, I'm not really going to have a single thing identifying it. So if I come back over here, where's this thing at? Overview today. I guess that's So I would have a title for that. First of all, let's add our slide here. I guess what we'd have is an H2. Well, I'd have a header. I guess I would just need to let that set like that. Okay, I think that's what I would normally do. Obviously, depending on what else I have going on, I would change that up. Maybe what I would do is add some classes. So we could just do class and pull some classes here. And then class. Okay. Why is this yelling at me? I think that should still work. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is pull in that section as well. Section. And I'll have a section here. And here, because I'm going to actually have content inside of here, and you see it needs it needs classes, and I guess I should make that optional too. So I'll come back over here and make this optional. Save that. Come over here, and we'll have a title, and we'll call this like overview cards, something like that. So that should work. And then inside here is where I want to add my card looping. So I think probably, let's see, the best thing to do would be to pull in. Right now I'm going to leave that alone. I might need to come back to that. See, I know I'm going to need all these things, and I'm pulling this in directly from my JavaScript file, the data file. These will all be articles. So I guess let's just get that card large in there and loop over those, I guess. Let's first of all get the data. Actually, yeah, let's just get the card. So card large, I'll pull that in. And then basically what we're going to do is say templating here. We'll take our data and we'll say map. Let's get the data in so you can actually see what's going on. So I have pulled the data in here. Data imports. And then what I want is, let's see, we'll do card large data equals object dot entries from my data dot sub. I don't remember what these things are called. What do we call these? Subscribers, I guess. Values, right? Okay. So what we would do is loop over this data and then basically pass each of these things down to the component we'll eventually pass in here. All right, so, and imagine that it's been angry at us for a long time probably. It's this section. I thought you could just name these things class like that. See, this shouldn't be yelling at me. Yeah, why is this yelling at me? Let's call this classes and see if that chills. Okay, I guess that is a reserved keyword. I couldn't remember because I don't usually pass in just a class like that. Okay, so that's happy now. Now we've got all those values, and they should be an array of objects. So if I can collapse that and pull this in, now what I should be able to do, event finally, is coming here. So if you're not familiar with Astro, you can actually see why we were doing all that stuff. So what we'll do is loop over the card large data.map, and then what am I doing? This has to be inside templating. Okay. Let's come in here, and we'll do each card, and we're going to return in parentheses here card large here, and we're going to just pass it. Now let's see, maybe what we should do, let's just copy all these. So there's probably a different way I would do this normally, but I don't want to take more time doing stuff you can't even see, which is what I've been doing for the last while here. So we'll grab all these. See, I need one more. And we'll say, we'll say equals card dot whatever that thing is. All right, so moment of truth. That's why we were doing all that stuff. Look at that. So you can see here what we've done is we've now passed in the handle, subs, today, icon, subtitle, positive. And now you can see the magic of Astro icon too. You see it's just dumping in. In fact, if I were to come in here and look at these, you can see it's actually an SVG inside of here. It's actually dumping it directly into the DOM. So there's not going to be any kind of fetch or anything like that. And then each of these will also have their card totals, whether they're up and down. You can see how this one's green and this one down here is red, and all that's based off this Boolean. So that's why we did all that stuff. Probably not the easiest way to slide into a framework like Astro, but hopefully that makes sense while we were doing it. But if not, hopefully it does now. So I passed in all these things, and now I've just dumped it in this way. All right, so with that done, let's go ahead and do card small.astro. And we're going to need some of the same stuff. Let's come back over here, though, and let's think through that. So I actually do need to add Booleans for, Booleans for is positive, negative here, too, because I didn't do that before. Do I have anything else I need to add? I don't think so. We'll format it the same way. I did notice, I don't know if, who is it that helped earlier? David? Yeah. David, I don't know if you're still around, but I did notice that here we've got like 1,000, and I need it to read this and only be compact after it gets above, I guess, 4 digits. So I don't know if you want to look that up. If not, that's totally fine. I'm fine with leaving it how it is. I'm not that picky. We can figure it out later. Okay, so card small, we're going to pull in a lot of the same stuff. Let's go ahead and close down this section. See, we're eventually going to need to remember to put an H2, or let's see, this needs to be an H2, I guess, here for this section. And card large. The other thing I can do is pass in like a different, I can pass in a tag here and actually set that dynamically as well. But since we're just doing it for these, I'm going to set these to H3s because now they'll be inside this section, and we'll style that in a second. All right, so I need to add positive true, I think, to all these down here. So let me grab all these percentages with Command-Shift-L, and then add positive true to all those, and then come over here and negative some of them. So this one is false. Let's see, and the last two are false. The YouTubes. False and false. Okay, cool. So I think that should all work. Let's open our card small. All right, so here I'm going to have, if I get my social back up and split it. Where's this thing? Here to go. Come on. Nope. Get out of here. Okay. I guess I can't move it over. Let me just make it a little smaller for a second so we can see what's going on. So we've got, we're not going to have a handle. We're going to have a title though, so let's just keep that there. So title, we'll have an icon. We already got that. We won't have that. I guess let's just positive up and down. We will have that. Percentage will be a number. Number, ironically, will be a number. And icon. I think that's it, right? Yeah. So now let's just grab all these and dump them in here. And that should format it for us. See, if not, can I force a format? Format. No. Okay. Oh, it's because I copied number. And I got 2 commas. All right, there we go. So we'll dump all this stuff in. Let's think through what we need here. I don't think we're going to need any buttons. I guess we can make... and why did I make that a button anyhow? Let's go large. Let's make this an href pointing to nothing. But assuming it points to like their social account or something like that, I figured that's why it made sense to do that. Okay, page views. So let's do like card top. In fact, it makes sense to, I guess those can be the same. So why don't we just say like flex between or something like that. All right, so flex space between. And then we'll have over here the title. And I guess let's give this a class of title as well. And then we'll have our icon. And I think I actually want this to be pointing to nothing as well. And we'll put that inside of a link tag. And here I want my icon right here. Just pull that in. So that'll be the top section. Let's get rid of all this. Got a bug flying around. And then we'll grab the second section. Hey, David is here. Nice. I'm assuming that's not the solution, David. You're just saying that you're here. If that's the solution, I mean, I'm all for that. All right, down here, we're going to have a number. We'll title this number. And then here, we've got another little icon thing. Let's just grab this. Okay. We'll drop this in right here. So this will be positive, icon up, icon down, that works. Then this will be my percentage. And then this will be just a percentage sign. Although, I guess we could just tack it in right here too. It's probably what we should have done with the other thing, but all right, so now what we can do is now pass everything to these. Number format, are we going to need to format these differently? Yeah, I guess the same thing. So let's do that, and those are just apply. I guess it would probably apply to both here and the number, I would think. But none of the numbers are large enough down here, so we'll leave that there for now. Then let's come back over this way, and let's look at our social here and see how we're going to grab this data. So it's under today rather than subscribers, but other than that, it should be the same. So that means I should be able to come in here. Actually, let me show you another cool thing about this extension. So let's copy all this down. And let's say I come in here and I'm like, you know what, I need a different card. I want my card small. So if I just start typing card small, and you see I've got this autocomplete. If I hit tab, it actually imports it up top automatically right here. So I put it in the wrong space, but that'll work. Divide the number by 10. Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. That's probably the best solution for today's video. Okay, so I've got title here. Let's see what else. So you can see here, it's just because I have TypeScript kind of on this, it's yelling at me for all this. So today is also not in there. Sub is also not in there, and I can come down here now and just hit Control Spacebar, and it shows me anything else I need. So icon number can be my card.number. What else do I have? Percentage can be my card.percentage. And then did I have anything else? I don't think so. I think that was it. Now I need to actually loop over card small data here, and then pass this to card small. This doesn't exist yet, so let's make it exist. So we'll do the same thing. Oops, except we'll look at today. And now everything gets dropped in. Pretty cool, right? It's the nice thing about templating it out ahead of time is now we saved ourselves time typing all that out. Now, in this case, it's not a huge time saver because it took us like 40 minutes to type out the social JS card. But, you know, normally now you have this card component you can just dump anything into as long as it has those items. Okay, we got 2 voting for divide by 10. Now, should I divide by 10 here is the question. I'm guessing so. Let's just, let's see. Yeah, here's the one. How do we feel about this? Is that what we were wanting? That seems wrong. maybe that's not what you guys are saying. I don't remember what the numbers are in the first place. Let me start styling this out, and I'll let you guys fight that out in the comments. All right, so over here, let's actually, let's do some styling now. So I think what I want to do, well, let's add these H2s before I forget. So this one needs to be H2, and this will just be overview today. This should actually be an M dash, not an N dash, but not to get all Grammarly on people, but so I'm going to change that up. And then we'll do an H2 here as well, except this one will be hidden, which I think still is helpful. And let's see, this title here, technically it's the same one down below. Maybe what I should do is do like const overview title equals overview cards, and then we'll do like today. Oh man. Oh, come on. I just want to type today. That's all I want to do. Today title. We'll call this a review today. I'm going to use just plain CSS. Plain CSS is my favorite. I mean, Tailwind's cool, but for templating stuff out, but especially with open props, like we can go a little quicker, and we can make it our own and that kind of stuff. All right, so overview title, we got that. We can also use the same thing then inside here, and then this ID. Let's see. I'm not sure I did that the way I want to do it. I think I actually want to pass this in. Let's do that. So let's just pass this in here, and then I'll add because they're both going to be H2s, and most sections are going to be H2s anyhow. I could pass in a prop for that. Let's just do that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this, come to my section, and then I'm going to slot in a title here, and this will be my title, and then my ID here is going to point to the aria labeled by as well. So inside here, we'll say slugify the title, and then add, I guess we need to do it like this. So just like JavaScript, you're just templating this stuff out, and because I need, you know, I don't need an ID on the front of that. What am I doing? Normally, if you were making it an anchor link, you would need that. So let's pretend that never happened. All right, but anyhow, just so you know, that's how you template stuff out. That's why I did that for sure. I guess I also need to pass in. I'm not sure I'm going to have any special classes here. Let's do like title visible. Why am I doing it there? All right, Chris, get it together. I'll come in here and do this optional, and we'll say that this is a Boolean. And then in here, another thing you can do is pass a default prop. So we'll say true by default. And then what we'll do is come in here and add a class. And here we'll say title visible. And if it's visible, let's see. Maybe let's do it like this. Let's say title not visible. Then we'll add the class of screen reader only, which we'll have to write globally. Or I guess we could just do it here. So let's do style, because I don't think we're going to use it anywhere else. Screen reader only. And here, let's look at the Tailwind docs. Screen reader only. Screen readers. And let's just copy this. Okay, so that should mean, if I come over here, we should have a title overview cards and a title overview cards. That's not right. I thought I already, I did type it out. Today, just in the wrong section. Overview, what was that? Overview today. All right, so those two things should be there. Now what I can do, because I made them optional, I don't have to pass them in, so that one's going to be visible. I won't do anything with this. But here, title visible, we're going to set this to false. Nope. So when it's not a string, I think you got to pass it in like this, just like JSX, and now you can see it made it invisible. So it is there in the DOM, but it applied that class of screen reader visible to it right here. And you can see how it scoped it because I wrote the CSS in that section component. Probably for a class like that needs to be global, but that's okay. Making videos, organize SCSS. I don't use a lot of SCSS. I mean, at some point I do need to do a video. I did a stream a while back where I did a bunch of utility classes and that kind of stuff. But I find CSS is so powerful now. Like SCSS kind of gets in my way, mostly because like I don't want to be writing basically tailwind myself, which is what I end up doing if I end up doing a ton of like generative functions. And then when it comes to like, my personal opinion is that a lot of nesting usually is like a foot gun for most beginners. I think the first little while I wrote CSS, I did so much nesting that it really came back to bite me, and it's made me a little gun shy of that. So I don't really like nesting except for like hover states and stuff like that. But I should mention, by the way, if you want to use Sass, you can just say like style Sass like that. I'm pretty sure I might have to install. I think that should work. So let's see if I can do like a sassy thing. So like title. Or let's do like color or something like that and say blue. Is he gonna yell at me? And I think if I just say like color, does that work? No, so I think I might need, is it Sass? Astro Sass. You can actually just do it directly in here with the style tag. I'm pretty sure that's how that's done. Obviously that's not using like all the advantages of Sass, but you can. Where are we at here? Lang, that's right. Lang. Now I think it'll work. No, so now I need to install that pre-dependency. So I'd say pnpmi Sass. Come on. pnpm run dev. And now, when it wants to, it'll get started and show us that blue. For real, David, I'm not sure I understand. I must have said something that you agreed with, though, which I'm happy for. Yeah, so see, there it pulls it in. So now you can actually add Sass anywhere you want. And we'll probably use that when we do our main style, which we should finally get around to, since that's kind of the whole point of this video. Let's look into that. I don't think I'm going to use this here, but Lang Sass. Remind me of that if I forget. All right, let's go ahead and now write some CSS. I've gotten all distracted. So let's have a folder in here, and we're going to call this style. Let's do styles, because we could have multiple styles. And we can just write Sass files in here now that we have that Sass extension. But yeah, let's do it. All right, so we'll say style.scss. Pretty sure that works. Let's do Andy Bell reset and Josh. Yeah, I like both of these resets because they're a good starting point. This one has some nice accessibility things. Sets like image, row of list, none. There's some cool stuff there. So let's see, and then this has some other nice improvements for typography. Let's see, that's the same. Now I usually do margin 0 because I like the parents to control their spacing and stuff. Over engineered CSS. Is that what Sass stands for? Yeah, and maybe David, you were agreeing with the whole nesting thing. That's just my personal preference. But again, maybe it's just because I messed myself up too much with that. Let's add this here. One of these days I'll make my own reset, which is basically going to be combining these two. I like this for, I guess let's just copy this directly, because there's no directly corresponding thing. And we don't need this anymore since I removed it on everything. That's fine, but we're not using a root ID or anything. So, all right, let's get rid of those. Let me come back to my layout because I think I've got some styles in here. Get out of here. I don't need this stuff. Now I could write all my styles directly in this file, but I want to show you how you can import them. So you can do it like that, and as long as you use that is global selector, you know what? That's what we should do on our section. So over here, we can just say is global. Is that? What was that? Yeah, here we go. Is global. Okay, so if we do this, you know what? We only want to do it probably on that one property, just to show you how to do that. Where's Astro? Global. I think it's under components, maybe. Is global. Where are we at? They're like, now I really want to figure this out. Templating directives. Is global. Oh, they were template directives. All right, there we go. Is global, but you can do it like on a single property, right? No? I thought you could do it on a property. Or not a property, on like a class declaration. I guess not. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, back to styling. So now at least the screen reader class is available everywhere. If else statement. Now I've lost you. Okay, layout. What we're going to do is import. So we'll import the CSS file directly in here. So all you have to do is go up a level, go to styles, and then go to style.scss. And it should pull in all that stuff. So isn't that cool? So now that we have that Sass extension included, we can just write Sass directly in here. And I'll probably do some nesting for that reason, maybe just on the hover states and stuff like that. All right, now to the actual styling. What kind of time do I have? Almost none. Okay, so we'll have to finish the styling tomorrow because it took us so long to get all that up and running. But, you know, hopefully that made sense how to use Astro and was enjoyable for you. Style guide. Give it to me. Okay. Enter 400, 700. Okay, and then maybe let's just start there. You know, lots of color situations going on. Let's see, where do I want to import this? I guess let's just do it here. So let's see, font. This is a cool thing called Raycast, and I've been having way too much fun with Raycast recently, writing a bunch of extensions. Everything's done in React and TypeScript, but you can write really cool extensions that do all kinds of crazy stuff. But you can also download a bunch too. So here I can grab enter, and I can just say, give me the 400. Oh, what do I want? The 400 and the 700. And then on this actions, I can just say, copy the HTML link. Copied. It's in there. So pretty cool, right? Just dumps it right in there. Now, let's come over here to my body. We'll say font family is enter. And then like sans serif. There we go. Pull it right in. Formatting. Okay. For formatting, use the number instead of international formatter. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think there is a formatter on the actual number as well. I think it actually uses that behind the scenes, if I remember correctly. Okay. So it is actually pulling an enter. But anyhow. All right, style guide, back over here. So we've got different themes, obviously light and dark mode. Overview, card headings 14. Okay, we'll get around to that. probably not today. Let's at least set up kind of the basic stuff. So these are primary no matter what. The toggle. Oh, this is the background toggle. And these are all the same. Okay. So let's grab this here. And I like to leave these out in case I need to do some kind of templating behind the scenes, actually. But to see what they are over there, let's just copy these. Oops. So I'm going to come in here. And if all that mumbling didn't make sense, what I'm going to do is, I guess let's come right here so I can apply some of this to the body. And we'll grab our root. And we'll just have it scream at us until we can figure out what to do. So let's grab all these. Is that what I want? Let's do the closing ones. How about that? All right. And now what I'm going to do, pull one more up. Instagram linear. Oh, okay. Let's just leave it like that rather than recreating the wheel. And what I'll do is grab these and we'll call them essentially the same thing, I think. So let's add those. I might be making more work for myself here. And then we'll just do double dashes. We'll call this like accent green. How about that? I like that. Accent red. So I'm going to declare all these ahead of time up top. So let's do like colors. And we're basically going to switch the color scheme on the page, and that will decide basically how we end up applying our colors throughout the document. Hopefully that'll make sense here. Let's grab these three and say social, and then Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And this one needs to be a little bit different, so let's comment this out for now. Oops. Let's grab both of these. Okay, and then this one needs to say social, YouTube. We'll do lowercase there too. Okay, so I think all that should work. Yeah, we'll get around to that one. Let me come down here. So these are our toggles. So here's where we're going to start having like light defaults and dark defaults. So this is they're both linear gradients. Or no, they're not. Only the one is. So let's comment that one out for now. And this one needs to be down there anyhow. And then we'll grab that and drop that in here. So we'll say like toggle light. And we'll set that to this HSL value here. So by setting up all these CSS variables, we can then use them throughout the document. And when we shift our color scheme, everything will just update automatically. Then what we're going to do is come down here and say media prefers color scheme dark. And we're going to have some global variables that we'll declare. So maybe let's do this. We'll set defaults here, and we'll set it to, I guess we'll just set it to light mode by default. So we'll have like toggle, and this one will be, actually let's pull these down too, because these are technically part of the default here as well. So this toggle will be pointing to my toggle var toggle light. So by default, nope. Come on, help me out here. Var toggle toggle light. That's all I want. Okay, so now I can just use this value, and it will basically figure out what to reference. Eventually, we'll have a toggle dark. So if I came in here and said dark, and I come over here, then what I can do is inside here, I can update the root and say that the toggle should now be set to var toggle dark. And then when I switch to dark mode, it's basically going to use this instead. So it'll look up here, it'll find this, and then it will be using this. Whereas by default, it'll use light mode unless they have color scheme dark on. Hopefully that makes sense. Divide by 10. I got it now. Okay. Divide by 10 to add the maximum significant digits. Is that like a property on that object, David? David came to watch, and now I'm like putting him to work. Like, go write my code, David. Tell me when you're finished with it, and hurry up while you're at it. I really appreciate it. And I'll look at it here in a second too. But okay, so let's just grab all this. Let's do the dark theme. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. And under dark defaults, let's grab the closing. Oops. Let's grab all these closings and space them out. Okay. So in here, got one there, got one there, there, and there. I really don't like it when they do this, when they give you like an HSL value that is literally just plain white. I'd much rather this be like 99% so that it at least is themed-ish. So I don't understand when they do that, but so let's do like, so because these are light and dark values, I don't really want to point these. I mean, I guess we could do whatever we want, but I like to point them rather than be like white. I guess that's what they're calling them. Let's just call it light. That's fine. White, I guess is what they called it. And then let's do this for all these. Let's call these like theme. And then I've got an extension called text. Let's see, text. Come on. This is so time saving here. Text pastry. There we go. So it'll give me 1 to 4, and we'll do that. Sure. I think that'll work. And then what I'm going to do is come in here under light and do the same thing. I don't need this toggle dark. Now all I need to do also is add on the end of these dark. And that is typically how I like to do these with a double dash. That's probably what I should have been doing here too. And double dash here and double dash here. Okay, getting close on these colors. So I guess top pattern. So if I keep these all the same order, dark blue background. Well, what is this? Oh, this is the background here. Okay, so see, this is why I don't like naming them like light or white. So it should have been like text. That's what I should have been naming them. So let me copy these over. All right, divide number by 10. Okay, David, let's remind me to do that if I forget before we finish up today's video. So let me come back over here and paste these in just so I can see exactly what's going on here. So what I'm going to do, I mean, we can keep these at theme 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I think we'll change them. So this theme 1, let's do for the light mode first, I guess. Yeah. Text and text. So maybe both these are text. Let's do that. So let's call this like text light and text dark. Or how about primary? No. Like that, I think. And then for these themes, let's see, the darkest one. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one now. Background, top background pattern, card background. So the 96 is the card background. Goodness. All right. Let's come over here. Let's get rid of these because these are all the wrong values. So the background is actually this color here. And so we'll call this card. No, we'll just call this background light. Top background pattern. Background top light, sure. And then we'll do card background. So I'm just trying to name these in a way that I don't have to think about it when I'm writing the code down below. I can just reference like card background and it should work. And then let's see. This is my text dark. Okay, so we actually should switch these. So this one should be light because then this one will be dark. Or maybe let's call this primary because it'll be light and dark mode, and yeah, we'll call this secondary. All right, I think maybe something is happening and we might be able to figure this out. Let's see. What do I have to delete here? All of this, right? And that. Okay, I think that's right. Oh, I deleted my comment. Dark defaults. Okay, back over here for my style guide. Now that I've totally ruined my sequential paste and made it totally useless. Let's get rid of all those. Okay. So let me just split this. Oops. And close this down. Just to make sure I got this. Okay. Zoom out a touch more. Close that down. All right, over here, dark mode. So this needs to be my background. So background dark. This needs to be the top, background top. Is that right? Just go straight down the line, right? Card, background light, or dark, and then text, secondary. And we're going to call this text primary. All right. If I did that correctly, I think what we can do then is come in here and copy this down several times. And what I'm going to do is grab my background and my background light. And then here would be background top light. And this would be card background. This would be text secondary. And if I kept down one more time, we'll change this out to primary. And I'm just using Command D to grab both of those at the same time. I'll zoom back in here for you. Okay, I think that's all set. Now let's just do the same thing for the dark mode. So all I have to do is grab all of these, drop them in down here, and change all these things to dark. There's one other thing I should change on this, which is color scheme to dark. I think that's the right thing. And then here we'll set color scheme to light. This changes things like this scroll bar. See how it does that? Whereas if I set this to light here, you see how that kind of updates all this naturally. Now I haven't actually changed the CSS, but just this single thing right here, I think my machine must be in dark mode right now. When I switch it into light mode and then back to dark mode, so it changes all these defaults for me automatically. Yeah, I know, right? Back at, yeah. Naming things will still be hard 500 years from now. Totally agree. So why don't we do this? Since we've got a toggle as well, I think what we actually need to do, we can leave that there. But what I'm going to do is set on the root another variable we'll call like data theme or something like that. If this equals dark, then no matter what my preference is, I want to set all of these things to dark. And then same thing here for light. So by putting it after this, this will update all these. Actually, let's grab all those together. Command D to grab all those, and we'll change this to light. So basically, whatever my default is, it'll still set it based off these instead, if I've selected this right here, if I've toggled it one way or the other. So why don't we set that up, and then we'll do that numbers thing. Hey, welcome, top left. Okay, so where was that at? That was in our header component, I think. So we've got this checkbox right here. So what I can do is just write a function that basically is going to look at this. So again, I can scope all this here. To this, it'll bundle it all for me and all that kind of stuff. But what I can do is say document.query selector, and what I'm wanting is the ID of theme, and just say like add event listener. When I click it, then what I want to do is, let's see, I guess, obviously I want to toggle the checked status. But I guess what I can do is pass in the E, and I think I get access to E.checked. So, no, it doesn't. E.target, current target.checked. Maybe? We'll see if it's there. Let's just, why don't we just console log the E.target first of all. So let's come in here. If I open up my terminal, let's get rid of this. I click here. I thought there was like a checked or something. Because basically what I want to do is figure out if it's checked or not. It barely works, David. Use an if-else statement. Okay. And somebody said that earlier. Maybe it was you. I don't see who did. Whoever did, thank you. But David, thanks for all the work. sorry to make you do so much over here. So let's just take const data theme. It needs to be a let variable anyhow. Let data theme. And right now, why don't we get default theme. Window.matches media prefers color scheme dark dot matches. So when this loads, it should give us whether or not they have dark or not. So what we can do is say that if this is true, we'll set this to dark. Otherwise, we'll set it to light. All right. Boolean has no, just like that, right? Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is take this data theme, and inside here, I'll say the data theme is now equal to, if data theme was equal to light, then set it to dark, and if it is equal to dark, then set it to light. All right, so let's see if it works, and then if it works, then I'll talk you through it like I knew what I was doing. Okay, so my machine must be in dark, but if I click this, it should switch to light. Oh, I have to actually apply it somewhere. Goodness. So now I need to do document element. It gives me the root dot style dot I think it's dot style dot set property data theme to my data theme. Okay, so let me come over here. Let's look at the elements. Let's look at this HTML. It should be adding it to here. Set attribute. Set property on root JavaScript. I mean, I just did this like yesterday a couple times. I just don't remember. Document element style that set property. Well, I thought that's what I did. Document element. Maybe it's just like that. This supposedly worked. Something happened. What am I messing up here? Event listener for checkbox. Is it not click? It's on change. Oh, I think that's the problem. Change. All right, let's try again. Nope. Let me make sure this is actually doing something down here. So let's console.log this. Okay, so it is giving me a dark. What am I messing up here? Oh, duh. I got to set the data. Yeah. So theme. You can actually set it through property like that too, but clearly I wasn't doing it right. I think that should work there. Light, dark. Cool. So it should set it to the opposite of whatever it is. So let's check it up here, and then we'll check it down below. So if you come here, it should set it. So it's saying it's light mode right now. It's saying it's light no matter what. So what am I doing wrong? I think this is right. Let's see what this is. False. So now it should say true, right? Check. Prefers color scheme JavaScript. Another thing I just did yesterday, but looks like I had searched this before. Pretty sure this is what I have here. Oh, it has to be in parentheses. Okay. We're going to get this set, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think they're going to add some more to it, David. Okay, so there we go. Now it's just toggling back and forth, and you can see how the background is updating automatically, but that's based off of no styling we've done. This is just default styling for the browser. So it's selecting its own dark mode. But eventually what we're going to do, if I can get back over here, is we're going to add to the body here background of var background. So now it'll pick up our custom styling here. And then text or color will be our var of text primary. All right, and then I'll talk you through all this. So it should pick up this primary color. Is that what it's doing? Can't see anything over here. Come on. Body, color text primary. Yeah, so it's picking that up. And then if I switch my machine, it should switch. Or if I click here, it should override that default. We need to handle it a little bit differently since I manually switched before I refreshed. Well, I guess no, we don't. It's going to prefer this, so that's what it should be doing. But now you see it's actually picking up our custom color. So let me talk through this real quick. And then we've obviously got some more toggle linear gradient. I think this goes to the dark. Right here. So we'll need to update that too before we're done with today. Okay, so if I come back over here and then we'll do the numbers thing and we'll call it good for now. And then tomorrow we can actually style this out. Hopefully we've done so much work that it will go quickly for us. But I don't know, I had fun kind of exploring some of the stuff, showing you guys Astro. I've used it before in live stream, I don't know, probably 2 months ago, but I tanked and bombed because I put my index.html document outside the pages directory, which is literally the only thing you have to do in Astro to get it to work. And I realized that afterwards. But so what we're doing is we're setting a bunch of colors, and you can see that by default, if they haven't checked or unchecked this, what it's going to do is it's going to prefer color scheme light, unless their system machine is set to dark mode. These global variables, and I'm calling them global in the sense that those are the ones I'm referencing in the CSS or the SAS, these things are pointing then to my light or dark. And then all these I'll reference, and they'll never change because they're always going to be accent green or red or whatever. So all those global variables then are pointing there. So it handles, this media query handles basically whether or not to show the light mode by default or the dark mode if their system is set to dark mode. Here, what I can do is override that with my own data theme attribute on the document element, which is the same as saying the root or the HTML. And so if I were to check this, now what it's going to do in this header component is to start with, it's going to basically switch my data theme to the opposite of wherever my default system is. And then what it's going to do is update this data property of data-theme to whatever that is, light or dark mode. When that happens, if I come back over here, then this data-theme is going to override whatever my default is because it comes after in the cascade. So it'll update those variables, and it's doing the exact same thing. It's just using these global things and setting it to whatever, dark or light. So hopefully that makes sense, kind of why we did what we did. Let's go ahead and get the linear gradients done. Let me make sure. Let's see, where is that style guide? There we go. Is there anything else I left off in here just so we don't have to come back to this? I don't think so. I guess technically I need to know that the font size overview card headings are 14 pixels because I don't have the Figma file or whatever to set this. So let me just set that in here and comment it out so that we can ignore it and probably not see it later. Okay, so we got all that set. Linear gradients. This is one of those things I always have to look up. Linear gradient CSS. Some things stick with you and some things don't. And this is one that's never stuck with me. Okay. Is it really that simple? I thought I had to like do a direction or something. Okay, yeah, here I need a direction. 0.25 turn. I guess maybe that's what I gotta do. Okay. So let's call this toggle. Let's see, this needs to go up top where I'm first declaring those. All right, so right here. So we're going to set this to linear gradient. And then like that, I think. And let's just set our background to it. Just so I can see it. So toggle dark, even though obviously that's not what we're wanting. And then I'll set this to background rather than background color. And go to dark mode. Background of dark mode. What did I change? Oh, only in the color scheme dark. Oh, goodness. Let's do background dark. Let me just change it down here. That way I don't mess with my variables. What is that thing called? Toggle. All right, did I do that right? Okay, let's come back up here. Toggle dark. Toggle light. That all works. Toggle dark should be this linear gradient right here. It doesn't look like that's working. Let's just do this to start with. Oh, something weird happened. Oh, yeah, I switched to light mode because I refreshed the page. So if I go back to dark mode, so this should be picking up that dark color. And I'm not sure why that's not happening. I think that's right. So let's just change this back so I don't forget tomorrow. Background here. Okay. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but I think this is the right syntax. Again, I don't know why I struggle so much with that one, but so we'll say social, Instagram, and we'll do the same thing, and then we'll just replace these values here with these here. Okay, so I think that's set. Do we have any other linear gradients we had to do? I don't think so. I think that's good. Okay. All right, we have yet to use open props at all, but we got it all installed and ready. We've set everything up, though. We actually have our data first, which That's a surprise since normally I work on so much of the CSS first. Let's work on these numbers and then we'll call this good. All right, so back to our utils. All right, David, let's see. Watch this in the morning. Oh, yeah. Well, you don't have to watch it. You can if you want to. I don't want it to be a homework project for you like it was for David today. Okay, so if else statement. That's what you said. So we're doing it in here, right? Oh, compact. So you're saying to do an if else statement inside this format, right? So that I'm saying basically if it's under 11,000. Okay, let me get my brain back in this. Okay, so what does it need to be again? I don't even remember that. Let's shut down a bunch of this stuff. Astro icon. Okay, what does it need to be? So basically what I'm going to say, make this optional. So David, let me know if that's what you were thinking. Or when I pass it from the card. Is that what you were thinking here? So like subs is over 1,000, or what was it? I guess it's over 10,000. Then format subs with numbers. Otherwise, just give me subs. Is that what you were saying? First of all, let's see if it works. And then if it works, it doesn't matter what you were saying. You could be like, yes, exactly. Hey, yeah, there you go. Okay. So let's see. Subtitle. Weren't there other ones we had to do this to too? Today. What's this today thing? That's a number. So we should probably do the same thing there. So let's do that. Today. And then we had the same thing on the small cards. Small. Title, icon, number. With thousands and with thousands. See, was that one good though? I think so. Oh no, it's the same thing. Okay. So let's do that. And we'll just switch this out with number. And one more time. Oh, got it double bracketed here. Same thing here, except we'll do percentage. You're not gonna have a percentage that's over that. Well, I guess you could. I mean, if you go up 10,000 or down 10,000%, it's a really good or really bad day for you. But you could have it happen. All right, percentage. Okay, so I think that should all work. Yeah, and so technically if one of these was like over 10,000, so if we came over here to our social, and let's just change one of these to like, I don't know. It should say 10K, and it does. Okay. All right, now we got all of our formatting working automatically for us, thanks to David. I should have thought about just doing that little if-else statement, and whoever else said that earlier. Why is he yelling at me? Okay. All right, so we're going to call that good, and I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and let's close this down, and let's just call this like video 1 code complete. I hope that was fun for you. Tomorrow, assuming I've got time, which I think I do tomorrow, I might just delay some videos next week because I wasn't planning on using 2 whole mornings to do this, but I wasn't really sure what it would take. But I don't think it'll take us forever long, an hour maybe to style out the rest of the, maybe not even an hour, but we might make some extra fun stuff. So I like to kind of change around these projects some too, because I think that's where you really learn is like, think like, what could I do a little differently or, whatever. So I think maybe we'll do that. Maybe I can show you some more about Astro, but thanks so much for following along today. If you watched this and enjoyed it, it really helps me if you like this video. If you're watching this long, hopefully you do like it. Yeah, I have a project coming out on that little theme switcher for that React to-do list I made. If you have other project ideas, I'm always all ears for those. because I'm just doing this in my spare time, I kind of just do what I want. So I don't really super pay attention to views and like what is going to make a ton of traction. Like, this is fun for me. I don't need or want an empire. I'm not trying to build the channel necessarily. I just like coding, and I like coding with people. And like today, that's one of the reasons I like doing live coding, in spite of the fact that it forces me to like be in uncomfortable spots where I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. Even if I just taught on it like yesterday or whatever, I think it helps me, but I also just think it's enjoyable to do. And so that's why I do this channel. I'm not trying to do anything special, but hopefully you've enjoyed that, and that attitude or whatever perspective has been fun for you. But if you have a project that you think I might like to do, let me know. I'm always happy to have other project ideas, but like I said, mostly I do this for kicks, and so I enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. All right, well, thanks so much for following along. I will catch you tomorrow probably. We'll probably do the same time, assuming I can get myself out of bed. But yeah, Project Redux, I don't know it. Or React Query. I don't know it yet, but whenever I learn it, sure, if I want to. That sounds great. But all right, well, I will catch you next time. Thanks so much for following along, and I will see you tomorrow.